All right.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Okay, so I was debating whether or not to do a video on this because it's kind of common sense. Like, I think everyone has come to the conclusion that the San Antonio Spurs are waiting it out, trying to see what's going to happen with the whole Kyrie and KD situation. And it's very obvious that they want to be a part of it. Not only that, they have a huge stake in this. They can get so much out of it. And they're kind of the middleman here. They're the only ones, or at least one of the only teams, that can really make something happen from this. And knowing the San Antonio Spurs, they're very methodical, they're very patient, and this is just one of those situations. But this has been getting around, so I said, hey, guess might as well talk about it. So yeah, there's quite a few articles alluding to the fact that the Spurs are looking to go ahead and take on Westbrook, the most likeliest thing to happen. And the funny thing about it is every one of the articles that I found, it addresses this same exact article. They're just talking about what LJ Ellis has to say. And you guys know I love LJ's articles, but he's not always 100% accurate, but at the same time, usually is some good information in there. So let's go ahead and just read through this and see what Lakers Daily had to say. The San Antonio Spurs are a team with a huge amount of cap space following their trade of DeJounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks this offseason. How do the Spurs plan to use their cap space? Wrote Spurs Talk LJ Ellis. The Spurs are actively looking to rent out their cap space in exchange for draft capital. With all-stars like Kyrie Irving, KD, and Donovan Mitchell on the trade market, the Spurs are hoping to handsomely reward it for helping to facilitate the acquisition of one of those big names. I don't think anything can happen with Donovan Mitchell. That's just me making an assumption, but who knows? You know, maybe you do like a 3-team trade or something like that. But I don't know. And the whole situation with the Kyrie Irving thing, I think that that's probably most likely is that Kyrie Irving will go to the Lakers, Westbrook go to the Spurs, and we just waive him. I don't like a lot of people are talking about, oh my God, we're gonna have Russell Westbrook. No, more than likely they'll waive him and he'll be able to sign somewhere else. But moving on, according to multiple sources, the trade that is closest to happening involves Kyrie Irving being sent to the Los Angeles Lakers and Russell Westbrook being routed to the Spurs. To facilitate that trade, the sources tell me that Spurs want an unprotected first-round pick from the Lakers. Honestly, I think they want more than this. Now they'll probably get one of those, like I said, from the Lakers, but they're gonna want way more than that. They're gonna take on that Westbrook contract, and really they have 100% say in this. Because at the end of the day, this can only help us, and it's not gonna necessarily hurt us. But us taking on Russell Westbrook, I think the Spurs are gonna be really stingy with that money and say, hey man, you got to give us a little bit more than just one first-round pick. So more than likely it'll be a third team involved to give us that. But see, that's the weird thing about it, because the Nets in particular, they're going to want quite a few picks. So that's where I sit back and I question, like, how is this going to work? I don't know exactly how this is going to work, because the Nets are going to want quite a few picks. I'm assuming the Spurs are going to want more. And I've been seeing this a lot, like one unprotected. I feel like the Spurs going to need a little bit more than one unprotected, but who knows? You know, we'll wait and see. But I am curious of how this is going to go down, because Los Angeles Lakers do not have any draft picks to give to the Nets. And not only that, we have no draft picks that we would want to give to the Nets either. So I don't know. I just question that, and I am just waiting to see what happens, but I'm pretty sure something is going to happen. Moving on, in this scenario, the Lakers will still need to give draft capital in order to move off of Westbrook's deal, but a third team like the Spurs entering the fray would help the issue of Brooklyn not wanting Westbrook on its roster. See, and that's just where I question, because they're not going to get rid of Kyrie just to get rid of Kyrie. Like, they're going to need quite a few picks, and I just don't know where that's going to come from, because it's definitely not going to come from the Spurs. And the Lakers literally have nothing. Like, they have nothing. So I don't know. I just question that. But that's the news thus far on the whole situation. It looks like it's getting closer to this happening. But at the same time, this is something we've been hearing for the past few weeks. And we've been talking about it for the past few weeks. It's just that now it's making even more rounds around the internet. But every one of the articles is addressing LJ Ellis. And it's no one else's key sources whatsoever. So not saying that's a bad thing. It just is what it is, right? So anyways, you guys want to support the channel, it's only $2 per month. Patreon and YouTube links below. Until next time, man, deuces.